Amazing. Okay, there we go. Let's see if that's working. And amazing. Okay, there we go. All right, live streaming. Now what do I do? Oh yeah, I do this thing. Sorry. I hosted the last one and I just got all blunget. All right, I'm going to share my screen, everybody. I'll tell you about who we are, what's coming up, and stuff like that. If you've never been here before, we're the Sequential Artists Workshop. We believe in comics. We took these workshops over from The Believer when they couldn't run them anymore. The Believer's gone through all sorts of turmoil and also fun, like things are okay again. You can explain that later at some other point, but they're back, but we've got their workshops and we're, we're honored they let us take them and blah, blah, blah. So here we are. I think the Zoom issues are not an issue anymore in the Eventbrite, so we'll pause over that slide. We're a nonprofit, and I want to thank you. People have been donating at the Eventbrite link, and we really appreciate it because, like, sometimes people say these workshops are free but not cheap, you know. So thanks for supporting a little donation by the at the entry point. It's really nice. And you can find out more about us at learn.sawcomics.org. We've got a bunch of workshops coming up. We have one of our biggest ones that I'm here to tell you about because Jess is the leader of that and I'm her second in command for this. But coming soon, next week, we're going to have Robin Chapman and Daryl Sechik together teaching mini memoirs. And they are doing a, Robin, who's an editor, her second is also doing a mini comic line of little memoirs, and they're going to show you that line of mini memoirs and then have everyone do one. So that's next week. Oh, look, the R got cut off. Starting Thursday is our 6-month graphic novel intensive. If you haven't done it, it's a really exciting thing. It's a chance to push forward, to get it completed if you're already in the middle of it, to get it like started and moving if you haven't started yet, and just to get a lot of accountability and feedback and structure and community and wisdom and everything that you need to get it done. And that's Jess's job and my job and Emma's job, and we're all pretty good at it. Jess is excellent at it. Anyway, and then if you want to come down to Gainesville, we're having another workshop finally, week-long workshop, July 25th to 29th. So more at learn.sawcomics.org. We've got 3 tiers of membership. If you want to join us, you can join us for free. We got tons of things going on. Again, sawcomics.org. We publish and we have lots of exercises and mentors at the flow level, which is level 2, and all sorts of really interesting things happening at the 3rd level. Check that out, the website. Thank you for listening to all this. Those 3rd level courses, actually, no, the 2nd level courses get you access to these free courses. But here's a little more about the memoir, not memoir, the novel, the graphic novel group. Here's some art from the last time. It's got a step-by-step course. It's got a resource package. It's got the online community. It's got bonus pro calls. It's got a lot. Here's some testimonials. You'll see those on the SAW website as well. People getting their books in the mail, getting grants. We've had a bunch of people get their books sort of back from the printer lately. It's been really fantastic. Okay. Share tonight on social media, Friday Night Comics hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can do me at Comics or do us at Comics Workshop. I don't think Jess is on social media, so maybe you can't tag her. So all right, just tag Comics Workshop. And also come find us at members.sawcomics.org. A lot goes on there. Also, Susan Marks might be holding an after party, and we'll tell you about that. Thanks again for supporting us on Patreon or however you've donated for this. Thanks so much. And that's pretty much it. Enjoy. No inappropriate speech or imagery. Stopping sharing. We're going to spotlight Jess. Jess, can you hear me? Are you muted? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Whenever you're ready, I'll blink out and turn my disco lights off, but I'll be in the I'll be monitoring the chat and I'll hear you. So if you're like, help, I need some help, just
Oh,
let me know.
okay. I'll shout out to you. Thanks, Tom. Thanks
Ready?
for
Okay.
all the info. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and please tell them about your book and your classes and everything else. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna blink.
So kind of piggybacking off of what Tom was sharing, I'm gonna share my screen. Wow, I haven't been on Zoom in a couple of weeks, so I almost forgot how to use it. So I'm one of the instructors in the graphic novel intensive with Emma Jensen, and then also Tom is there too. So some of y'all that are here have did it with us last year, and it's just getting ready to start again on June 1st in a few days. So really excited. But I wanted to tell you that my graphic novel is coming out in end of August. And it took me 10 years to make my graphic novel. So if you think, man, I work really slow, I don't know if I can do this book is too big for me. Those are all things that I thought, and I would love to like talk to you about them if you're interested in joining the graphic novel intensive. That might be a good place to think about those things. It runs for 6 months from June to I think end of November. But it can be a nice way to have accountability and like enthusiasm. It can post to the network. And then I think Tom already said this, but we'll have like weekly calls that alternate between afternoon and evening. So I don't know. I had a really good time teaching it last year. And now that this book is done, I'm going to attempt to do my own graphic memoir. And I haven't even started it. So I feel like last year I was cheating. I was like, my book's almost done. So I was just posting like the end of the road, which was exciting. But now I'm kind of starting at the starting line, so relatively same spot as a lot of other people. So that is one thing I just wanted to mention. And then I think you can pre-order it if you want to from the Fantagraphics website. I can add this in the chat if you want to. This book is about veterans. I interviewed veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars and then took those interviews and made it into a comic book. So I interviewed more than 12 people, but 12 ended up in the book. It's every branch of the military except for the Coast Guard. I love them, but I just didn't talk to a lot of Coast Guard people. Oh, is there echo? I wonder how I could stop it.
Yeah, Jess, it's a whooshy. Somebody nailed it by saying it's a
Oh,
fuzzy,
hang on a
fuzzy.
second. I have the air conditioner on. Let me try to turn it off.
I wonder if that's it. Jess's book is really, really nice, y'all, and I don't know how much more she's gonna talk
Oh,
about.
yeah. How is that? How's the whoosh?
Oh yeah,
Is
that was
better?
it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have like a big air
Oh wait,
conditioner. No? It's a little weird.
still a little weird. Maybe the closer you get to the mic.
I wonder what I could do. I could try headphones too. I'm gonna try my headphones.
Not as bad now. Chris says it's perfect. Maybe we just
Okay.
go, and if I'll just send you another note.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We'll see how it goes. Okay, great. Okay. Well, we're doing the best we can. Thanks for we really do appreciate the input because it helps people that are like watching the recording later. Yeah, so let me stop this share really quickly and I can show y'all some of that. I don't want to talk too long about myself, but I will show you some of the stuff that, let me see if I got some, yeah. Maybe, let's see. Maybe I can give you a peek at the actual book itself. If I go to, might be, I think I moved the folder. All right, well, maybe if I find it after we're working, I can show you some pages from that. I think I'll just jump into what I want to do with y'all this evening. So maybe a lot of you here have experience working on longer stuff, like you're working on something that's either being serialized or you might have like a 16-page comic or a 6-page comic. Those are all like kind of longer. I think anything over like 4 pages is kind of long. But if you've ever wanted to have an exercise in like brevity or think about comics in like a smaller container, I really enjoy doing 3-panel comics. And I can show you what I mean. I started doing these as an exercise for an inking demo for the pre-college class that I was teaching at the School of Visual Arts. And they were kind of helpful. So I'll just show you a couple of examples and maybe I'll go backwards. First, I'll show you, let's see. There's more than one way to do it, but let me see, share screen. Here we go. So there's different ways to do it, but what I have been doing is just getting an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and folding that in half. Let's see if I can show you all that. I did like a digital version of it. So envision a piece of printer paper and you fold it down the middle if you're holding it long ways, and then you have a smaller space to work. I found that size was really great. I'll also do that with like 9 by 12. A half of that is also really good too. And then I'll just give myself 3 panels, 2 small ones, and then like the final one. Tom's like my Vanna White. He's like showing how to do it. I drew this digitally. Like the setup I have here, I'll like draw one off the top of my head. This is kind of fast and loose, and you're not necessarily thinking about a story, but maybe starting with an image. That's sort of how I made them, because I was making them on the spot without a lot of story. But some of them ended up being like memoir-y or diary comics, which we've like looked at in other Friday Night Comics things. So I'll show you a couple of those. So this is the most recent one. You just start with, this is something that happened. We got a pumpkin at Trader Joe's and it's $3.99. This was this past fall. That one looks good. It's sort of shiny. And then we just have a quiet panel where the cat is enjoying the pumpkin in the window. And then that was kind of the end of the story. This one is a different format, but I wanted to show you if you like kind of working like a classic comic strip that you might see in a newspaper. These are kind of voiceovery. This one doesn't have any dialogue, and I just drew from photographs. So if you're feeling really like, oh, it's very much Friday, the end of the week, and I don't really know what I want to make a comic about, these are all just drawings I did from photos on my phone. And there's this Mary statue outside of this church near my now husband's neighborhood. And usually when you see a statue of Mary, her arms are kind of by her side, but this particular one had her hands up here, like she was surprised, like someone was giving her a puppy or something. And every week, I think it's part of a Marian devotion that someone was doing, but they would give her like a new dozen roses from the bodega, and they would be a different color every week. And sometimes it would be rainy or snowy, and maybe the roses would really not be looking very good, but she had that same like, oh, thank you so much. So I just really like that, like walking past these like landmarks, I guess. And then my favorite bookstore, and then I just kind of drew this like sort of Lower East Side looking thing. I love New York. This was like right before the pandemic, and I was trapped in lockdown during the pandemic in New York City. So my feelings about New York shifted right after this. But it is, it could be a meditation on one topic, and just think of, these are all essentially like pretty different photos, but I noticed like, oh, this must be, maybe this comic is about things that I like. And that put me in a pleasant mood. It makes it easier to make a comic if you're making a comic about something pleasant, I think. This one was one of my favorites. So in the first panel, we have like a scene established. It's a little hard to tell, but it's a big drift of snow and the top part of a subway, and like the little globe that says the subway's here. It's raining, or it's snowing, almost home. And we have this really dramatic diagonal that I was really excited to draw. I think giving yourself something exciting to draw in every panel, like snow, that can be helpful. And then I see, this happened a lot in New York, that there aren't any trains, and I have all these bags, and I'm not almost home after all. These are also based on photographs, like two based on photos, and then one kind of based out of my head. So I was like, I really like the way these people look in these photos, and they're so beautiful. And then I'm kind of reflecting on my own self. What, did I take a shower today? Getting sucked into, I'm not on Instagram, but I had a lot of photos saved of, oh, these elegant women and cute clothes, and their hair is nice. I think I'd like to look like that. And then I was living a different moment. And then my cat is over there on the left, silently judging me a little bit maybe. And then this is one I did with the other high school students. Tom Hart loves Nancy, and I do too. Josh Baer also turned me on to Nancy. So this is a comic that ran for a really long time. And you can isolate any comic if you want to cheat. I wouldn't consider this like a hard cheat, but you can Google a favorite cartoon strip of yours and take a random one. People have done this with Garfield to great effect. So if you don't know where to start, you could take an existing image. It could be a photo. It could be a comic panel like this. So I didn't even really finish this one, but I was just trying to see what the possibilities might be. So I think I'll rent a wig and find out if Sluggo is true to me. And then I have her kind of like gussied up and she's like saying something. I'm not really sure, but I thought it'd be interesting to have her like really far away and have this dramatic shadow after that close up. So maybe the second panel is her getting ready and the final panel is her like interacting with Sluggo and see what happens. So that was like kind of done digitally. So but generally I didn't have anything in mind. I would look at photos, and then these are kind of voiceover plus a little bit of dialogue, me talking to myself essentially. I feel like a lot of these, if I'm looking for some type of strategy, but I can give y'all instructions on like what you might want to draw for panel 1, what to draw for panel 2, and what to draw for panel 3. So if you want to start, you can use this template. Tom's holding it up and I'll draw one too. And maybe what I'll do is I'll stop my share for a second. And y'all can figure out if you want to work digitally, you can do that. You could also get a piece of paper. You also don't have to fold a piece of paper. Like I tend to just look for like stuff I have lying around. But you want it to be big enough that you can work a little bit and have 3 panels. So you can do, I would either do like 3 squares across or 2 small ones and like 1 big one. Because those seem to be like as big as you want to go. But I wouldn't work like super big because you want to have time to finish it. And we'll just work on either penciling or like one piece of media. So let me, I'll open, yeah, so it's 3 panels. And I'll show y'all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my Photoshop and take that template in there and also draw while y'all are drawing. And I'll talk about, like, I'll give you a prompt for each of the panels. Does that sound good? And I'll give y'all like maybe like 8 to 10 minutes for each panel. And then that way we have time to share. So. Let's see if this works. And sometimes when I open up Photoshop on Zoom, it gets cranky, but we'll try it anyway and see. Okay. All right. Yay, prompts. Let's see. Okay, so I would say generally, the first panel will be your main character. And it could be something that you like doodle out of your head. It can be an inanimate object. So if you look around on your desk, I have this like keychain that's a frog. Maybe I draw, maybe this is my main character. So whatever you have lying around that could be main character, you could stick some googly eyes on it. Yeah, I don't know, maybe an apple. This is a mug with an apple on it, with glasses. So an inanimate object with glasses. I'm gonna do a little lady, I think, because I'm cheating because I did this with one of my students yesterday. So I have an idea of what I want to draw. So first panel, main character. They're probably gonna show up in most of your panels. And you could draw yourself if you like doing that. That's usually, as you can see, that's something I did. There it is. Okay, so I don't always draw this, but I've been really into like funny hats lately, so I thought it might be cool. Well, maybe I'll make this a little, screw it. We'll just leave it like that.
How do you feel about word balloons, Jess?
I love word balloons. Yeah, if you want to add word balloons or text boxes, like caption boxes, I think they're handy. I find like at least one word balloon for the 3 panels might be helpful because it kind of gives a cue to the reader on like, see, I ran out of room. I really wanted to draw her feet, but that's okay. Mhm. So it's 7:20 now. If y'all want to do like maybe like 8 minutes or something. So I have this character. Oh, oh no, I did that thing where you draw on the same layer. Oops. I'm doing this really fast.
Can I draw your character as a main character?
Yes, yes. This is like a open source. So yeah, I'm fixing it. It's fine. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about it being like really great. But so I had this lady walking down the street. Maybe she's got a huge bag. That would be fun. The other thing is if you have like a bigger piece of paper and your comics on one side, you can use the other side of the piece of paper to like doodle ideas too. I feel pretty good about that, but I'm going to check the chat and see if we have what I missed. Okay, and Tom's being super helpful. So panel 1, a main character. It could be a doodle, an inanimate object, piece of fruit. And I drew this little lady because I'm interested in drawing funny hats. You could draw yourself. That's usually fun. Or your pet. I think Tom mentioned that earlier. That's a good idea if you like drawing animals. So maybe like 3 more minutes and then we'll move along to the next panel and see how it goes. And this is sort of a draft too. I think if you do it in pencil on paper and you want to ink it later, you could, but it could be an idea for something else too. You never know. I normally don't draw it in my head. I have a really hard time thinking of things, but I've been walking down the street that goes to the library and it kind of looks like this. And then I think I'm drawing who like I wish I kind of looked like this. so maybe it is like a self-portrait sort of. Oh, I'll make it a sidewalk. Kind of. That's pretty good. Oh, a little chimney. So you don't have to draw a background, but I noticed it helps me think of what might be happening next. And I cheated sort of because I kind of am inventing a place that is familiar. Oh yeah, Libby says the Cambridge libraries rock. They do. Tom recommended a book. Julie Doucet has a new book that came out, a graphic novel, I guess, called Time Zone J. And I found it at the library and I requested it. So I didn't even have to go look for it. They put it on hold. That always makes me feel like a celebrity who has an assistant. Like I go to the library and the book is already there. Very fancy. How's everyone feeling about time? Does this feel like enough time? Do you need more time? Library. Is everyone ready for panel 2? Maybe?
Maybe the silence means yeah.
I like I started scrolling through, like everyone seems very positive.
It says yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's try number 2. Your second challenge is place. It's a little vague. This feels like a clue from Wheel of Fortune. But place or event. So we know the place a little bit in my comment because I have a little bit of background. But if you don't have a background, this could be an opportunity to zoom out, show more of like what that character is experiencing. But I'm going to do an event. And I also want it to feel like time is passing. It's really hard to character continuity is not my strong suit, but so I'm basically going to draw the same figure. Pretend it's the same. It's good if you give your figures like weird clothes. It's like that has to be the same person. There can't be 2 people dressed like that. So I have them further down the street, but it started raining. They're stuck in the rain. So that's an event. So maybe they discover an object. Like another thing is like they could, oh, this person might like look down and see something. Maybe their bag slips and something pops out of it. A bird flies by and they look up. So any event, but I have it raining. Weather is a really good event. But I also think it's a fun opportunity to keep the character kind of looking the same. Like maybe they don't care too much that it's raining. Make it really rainy. Do like those little boop. The second panel might also be an opportunity to add dialogue. Like if she's someone who talks to herself. Oops. Oh, cool. I didn't even mean to do that. That worked really well. Maybe she says something like, oh, darn. Like if we want to know what they feel, we could have dialogue if we want. Might have her do like that classic. I don't know what it means, but the high school kids love doing that. Dot, dot, dot. I feel like it's cheating. What does it mean? No, I'm going to take that out. I feel like it makes her appear depressed. I don't think she's depressed. She's just wet.
I had the dots in mind, Jess.
Yeah, were you thinking, yeah, dots would be good. Yeah, like definitely something is a brewing. Yeah, maybe dots make more sense because it should be a reaction, right? See, watch me change my mind in real time. This is the process. Whee! Oh yeah, it's like a thought, so that's all right. Maybe like 4 more minutes, 3 more minutes for this one, and then we'll do the final panel. And then we'll get to share if you would like to share. I think that would be Thank you. It's rain. Oh no. Digital is not my first language. That looks pretty good. Oh, there's no flowers. Maybe we should put more flowers. So maybe like 2 more minutes. Oh, I forgot to draw my. This is also good practice for like continuity. How's it going, everybody? We're feeling ready for number 3? How are we feeling? I'm scrolling through the faces. Thumbs up for 3. Feeling it. I got 1 thumbs up. Oh, I got 2 thumbs up. Oh, and a vigorous head nodding. I like it. Okay. All right. So let's try number 3. It's so nice. I love 3-panel comics because they're like over before I start. So I can kind of trick myself into just having fun and not doing the right amount of thinking, not too much thinking. So the third one is resolve an issue or take us to a new scene. So we have a new place. This is maybe a little tricky. Endings are hard, I think, but I have decided she's home. So let me write that. Number 3 is, I'll just write it down here. Resolve an issue and or take us to a new scene. So they could suddenly have a flashback. A lot of things could happen. Also love doing a dramatic shadow. So she came home and her cat's there. Gotta have a cat. So it's kind of like a good ending to maybe an unpleasant experience. But I also really like 3 panels because it's an opportunity to practice inking. I mean, this is not exactly inking, but like being brave about using darker tones with the line. Oh, maybe we need some curtains. Furniture there. It's like a cool castle door, the front door. All right, so maybe 2 more minutes and then we'll have 20 minutes to share. I'm checking the chat. Let's see what the chat says. No, your cat. Rebecca says their cat keeps trying to lay down on her sketchbook. It's all part of the process. They're like, did you say cat? I'm right here. So it's kind of messy, but I think I like this could be really beautiful if I wanted to, like, I don't know. I think it's already kind of great, but I'm drawing it using materials I don't always use and working kind of quickly. So sometimes these are good to have almost like sketchbook exercises. And then if you feel stuck or want like a warm up for a longer thing, it can be really gratifying to have self-contained things that you can do, you know, in under an hour. And then you're like, I'm still a cartoonist, even though I'm working on this really long thing that makes me feel like I'm not exactly a cartoonist. All right, so we'll do like 1 more minute. And when we share, if you're still working on your stuff, you're like welcome to like listen with one ear and draw with one eye. Oh no, my cat just showed up and she's licking my foot. She gives it an A+. Unless my feet are dirty. I don't know. Maybe I stepped in something delicious. So if we read this comic from the beginning, first panel is quiet, looks like there's a single person with a cool hat, looks like a nice day. Maybe they're going somewhere or coming from somewhere because they're carrying a big bag. And then there's some rain and they're leaning forward under the weight of it and they seem to be having some thoughts. And then in the final, here they've arrived where they were going and maybe all is well. Looks like they can come inside and get dry. So that's my 3-panel experiment. Okay, Tom wants to share, so maybe we'll look at Tom's first, and then we'll kind of go around. Tom's gonna help me like MC. So.
Yeah, and Jess, will you do me a favor and raise your hand? It's in the reactions if you don't remember. Yeah. Then whoever else would like, and that just puts you up in the queue so that people can see you as well as when we're commenting. And if anyone would like to share, I see Jonathan Evans would like to go ahead and oh, great, we're getting some hands up. Wonderful.
Cool.
And yeah, I'll start if you got, I never share. I don't think I've ever shared actually. So if you don't mind, because I was riffing on yours and that's why I want to. But I also want to say thanks because I never, oh, I want to spotlight. Oh, I guess you spotlighted me. Okay.
I spotlight you.
I never let myself think in few panels this slowly, and it's really nice to actually just think this slowly. Usually I'm like rushing through trying to think of a million names and scribbling. But anyway, so I did your lady with the hat in panel 1. And then you said maybe she's got a big bag. So then I drew that strap. And then I said, what's in the bag? And then so I just wrote, I need more bricks. And then you said, show us a place and an event in panel 2. So she's bending down here. So she's bending down for a brick. And I drew your background kind of like. But then in the third panel, I drew you from your other 3-panel comic where she said, did I shower today?
That's really good. You know, the sidewalks here are also, it's brick sidewalks in Cambridge. That's like brilliant. That's exactly what the sidewalks look like. Amazing.
So, thank you for letting me share. I've never
shared.
Thanks,
Don.
So we'll go in order of who I'm seeing, which is Jeannie, Jonathan, Lori, and I'll write that in the chat as well.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, Jeannie.
So here we go.
Oh, and let me spot. Did you?
Okay. I got it.
Hey, thanks, Jess. This was fabulous.
Cool.
And it's so great to do something that kind of quick and slow at the same time, especially if you're working on something long term. Anyway, it was really good. So this is, it's just the only thing I found. It was staring me right in the, it's a Winsor Newton.
Yeah. Oh, what a cool model.
So it's falling from the sky.
That reminds me of Jim Hamilton's comics.
So that's the character. And then this is a place or event and it's falling farther. And then I get to wear it as a hat.
I love it. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, yeah, such a good walking person. That was like the action I really wanted in mine, and I couldn't quite do it. They were like little, those are great legs. Cool. Yes.
All right, we'll go to Jonathan next. Thanks, Jeannie. Jonathan, as soon as you got a video, I'll spotlight you. All right, here we go, spotlight.
All right, so I was playing around with an idea that when I was in high school, I used to do a lot of little comic book characters of my own. And so I constantly revisit this character named Jason. And then here, what I do is the dumbest power, but the greatest power I ever gave him was that if he could draw something, he could make it real. Well, here he is in a situation where he doesn't quite know where he is. How did I get here? Where am I? All in thought balloons. He then realizes that he didn't move his mouth. And there it is again. Why do I feel flat? And then he realizes he's in a comic book that I drew of him that I never finished. And then in the narration box at the bottom, I apologize to him.
That's awesome.
Because I had a bad tendency years and years of starting longer ones. I used to do little one-pagers in like biology class. And then as I tried to do longer and longer ones, I would script out whole boxes and then never finish them.
Yeah, that's real. I love the trompe-l'oeil at the end. So cool.
Awesome, Jonathan. Thank you. We'll go to Libby and then Lori and then Nina, then Indy. So here we go. Oops, wait. Libby. There we go.
So there's my little character, and it's seeing a Tibetan, I guess sort of a Tibetan character on a tanka, sort of maybe recognizing itself, and then it ends up in a meditation room. And then it meditates.
Oh, I love it. I love that meditation room as a place. That's really wonderful.
Well, okay, we'll go to, let's see.
Lori?
You got it, Jess, or I got it? I got it. There we go.
You got it.
Okay. So I have a skeleton in my studio. So I wrote, I stopped throwing Halloween parties ever since my daughter went away to college. Our skeleton, Uncle Jack, has been folded up ever since. Except for the time when my daughter borrowed him and for a party that she and her roommates threw at their apartment. Uncle Jack now takes up space in my studio, but maybe I should dress him up so he can be more comfy and remind me of all the good times we had or something like that.
Oh, it's so cool to see your work on paper. I love it. Like the first panel, these are like the idea of an inanimate thing coming to life too. That's awesome.
Awesome, Lori. Thank you. We'll go to Nina.
All right, am I there?
Yeah.
I have a stuffed mushroom that sits
Oh.
on the drawing table, and I was out foraging all day yesterday in the mountains. So the first little panel, if you can see, is my little mushroom guy. And then the forager picks him up. It says, "It's a porcini." And the mushroom says, "Please don't eat me." And then the forager says, "Oh, you're so cute. I think I'll keep you."
That's great. Look at that knife right behind him and his little butt.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, he has a butt.
high drama there. I love it. That's awesome. Great backgrounds too. Cool.
Thanks, Nina. We'll go to Andy next, up in Massachusetts. Let's see. Oh, I lost. There he is. Spotlight. All right.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay. So I didn't really know what the second panel was supposed to be, and I didn't know if it was supposed to relate to the first. I missed the first 10 minutes. I was getting beer run. So I kind of just tied them together. So the first one is the moon has zits, and so they send up a rocket, that zit popping rocket, not Bezos's penis proxy. And then so it crash lands, and he has to fill in this crater. I have no idea how he's getting home. He doesn't either. So that's where I'm at.
That's great.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. So I think we've got Rick next. Thanks, Andy. Here we go.
Hi there. So I drew the coffee mug on my desk. Oh, there he is. And then in the next panel, the sun comes up, so he takes off the table, and then he finishes his little mission of waking someone up with some coffee. And I wish I had a mug that would do that for me in the morning.
Yeah. That's great. I love the space in those panels. That's great. All right, next we have Jackie, Michael S., Miska, and Marley.
Here's Jackie.
I picked an owl because I have a collage of an owl on my drawing table right here.
Nice.
And here's the owl in the city. And then owl's looking irritated. Here's a car playing loud music going by. And then he's the owl's coughing up owl pellets. It bombs away into the moving car that's making all of that.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Michael Sergio, are you ready? Otherwise, we'll go to Mishka. Let's see if Michael's ready. Michael, you ready? Question mark, question mark. All right, we'll go to Mishka. We'll come back to Michael.
Sorry, Michael. All right, I'll be quick. Oh, you can't see because okay. So my character is, man, sorry about the backlighting. Here we go. Either the trash can or
Hi,
me.
can you hear me?
Oh, hang on, Michael.
Do you want Michael now or me?
No,
Okay.
just stay. We'll stay. Michael's not paying attention. Michael, we'll come to you in a minute. Go
Okay.
ahead. Thanks.
So the character is either me or the trash can. There was a PTA party at school today for the whole school, and the kids all threw their compostables into the trash, and I couldn't stand it. So, and then moms kept coming over and saying, "Oh, I knew if anyone would clean up our mess, it'd be you." To which I could only respond, "I have a reputation to uphold." And then a kid came over and said the same thing. So it's more of the place here.
Local celebrity. I like the labels too, like the overfilled. What's that bottom say? Overfilled.
Oh yeah. So now I got the trash can mostly empty, and it was overfilled with pizza and plates. And then the kid came over and was like, "Oh yeah, you did this at our elementary school too."
That's awesome.
That's in Berkeley, by the way.
Oh no.
Awesome. Thanks, Mishka. Okay, let's see if we can get Michael Sergio up and ready.
Okay. So
Yeah, we can hear you, Michael.
Mine's Chips Machina.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
It's a
What's going on in panel 2?
okay. So my character is Chips Machina. He's a skeleton dude. And he's on a hold on.
He's on like the front of a ship.
What's that? Okay. All right. So he's basically strapped to a ship. There's a little guy here who's like having a little knife to him. And at
Oh,
the
no.
end, he's on an island stuck, and then they like sail away. And there's like a little crab guy,
Oh,
and
no.
he's just there.
Why? Nice.
He needs that crab guy for his friend.
Yeah. Start of a beautiful friendship. Thanks, Michael.
All right, we'll go to Marley in Sydney and then Michael Wu. So hang on a second. Let's get Marley up there. Oh, you're muted.
Can
There
you
you
see
are.
me?
Yeah, we can see and hear you.
Okay, I am a diver. Well, I drew a diver
Wow.
going down in the Mariana Ditch, which is 2.2 kilometers into the Pacific Ocean. And it's this one is the first one. And as it stands on the ledge, this is the ditch. It shines deep down into the 2.2 kilometer depth where it cannot go and comes across a creature. The creature cannot see with normal eyes, so it has nocturnal eyes, looking back at him, and he's getting quite afraid. Then over here, when he looks again, he sees a shark-looking creature eating a fish. And again, he starts to become more and more afraid and said, "Eek, I need to go and get out of here." And then finally, a mermaid comes and says, "Here, look, you can borrow my tail to get out of here. I suggest you leave immediately." The spider and the jellyfish are supporting him to get out through this portion, and the sun is shining upon him.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my story.
Awesome.
Mariana Ditch.
I love the color.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank
Marley.
you.
Thank you. Okay, so Michael Wu, how are you? Here we go.
Hi, my wife and I are visiting Chicago, and this is based on something we saw today. We were walking towards the Art Institute of Chicago, and we saw this, and as soon as I heard about the format of the 3 boxes, I immediately thought of the 3rd box and tried to figure out how to lead to it. So this is called Tears for Uvalde, and there are no words.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful, Michael.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, I love the horizontal format too. That really works in that last 3rd panel.
Yeah.
Cool. Wonderful.
All right, we're going to go to Walter next. There we go.
Okay, so I went straight autobio, and I'll just let you read it because there's enough captions.
Let's see. I recently semi-retired and have been clearing out the garage, and I have been selling a lot of the stuff. Ooh, roller skates. I would totally buy those. It's less about money and more about knowing the stuff is getting used. Oh, cool.
The only
That's awesome.
difficulty I have is I've trimmed my beard differently, and I don't know how to draw it yet.
You gotta draw more selfies.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Kathy next. Thank you. And then Susan, Miles, Erla, and then after that, I can't see. There we go.
Hi.
Hey.
This was great. Thank you. So let's see. George and I walked today in the woods in search of fish. Made me think about there used to be a dam blocking the river, and the alewives could not run. And so I'm trying perspective. I squashed myself.
Yeah.
Upstream now that the the dam is gone, we found pools of happy alewives, and we sat and watched them swim, frolic, and commune with each other. So there's me, there's George. And all the fish.
I've always wanted to know what an alewife was. It's a fish?
I think somebody else can correct me. It's like a herring.
Oh, okay.
Or it's a herring.
The last stop on the red line is alewife.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's exactly what my friend from Boston said today. It's a fish. I said it's a fish.
You're educating all the people in Boston. That's great. Thanks, Kathy.
It's a young heron.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, a young herring. Yeah.
Nice. Is that watercolor, Kathy?
Well, I actually have no idea what it is. I used the pen and then it's smeared. So
perfect.
What is it? It's a Tomboy water-based.
Okay.
And these water-based brush pens.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks, Kathy. It's so nice to see everybody working with ink and color too. I was sort of tempted to add color, but I chickened out.
Gonna go
next, Susan?
Susan next, yeah.
Yay.
So while you were describing what the prompts are going to be, I was just fixated on this conversation I heard today with Rachel Smythe. She's the creator of Lore Olympus. And so the first thing she said is the only thing in her life that's organized is her nails. And she alternates between one really wild color that she gets off Pinterest and the other one is just a nude color. And then when she was asked, well, what did she really not know how to draw? She said she just really didn't know how and still doesn't know how to draw male presenting parts, which I thought was a really interesting way of saying that. She said, how do men's hips work? I know how my hips work. And then at the end, she was asked and she said, oh God, no. If I knew that millions of people were going to read my comic, I never would have started.
Excellent.
Awesome, thanks. And Susan is hosting the after party. I just posted it in the chat.
Yay.
Next is Miles. Am I pronouncing that right? And also we need you to go to video so I can spotlight you. There we go. Hi.
It's Miles.
Miles. Oh, with a Z. Nice.
Yeah, but it gets everybody like 50. I don't know if you can see. Okay, hang on. So I got my this little puppet dude. I've been just started practicing.
Oh, I love it.
I don't have his strings worked out yet, but I was taking pictures of him yesterday outside in my yard. And so what I had was he's just walking around in this little field with grass and dandelions. And what I did was I made it so he was much smaller than the dandelions, but he's actually about the same size. But so he's really small and he's got wings. So he just flies up to this big dandelion and he's like, thinking about maybe trying to make a wish, right? And then I started my last panel of him. Sorry. And he was going to, try to blow it. And the issue was going to be that he was very small and couldn't blow it. But I created a different issue, which I realized he did not have a mouth. So I figured out, so I'm going to resolve it yet. It's that weirdly bright.
That's awesome.
But it's there. I'm gonna finish.
Lovely. I love that character.
Thank you.
Cool. Next, we'll go to Erla, then Kate, then Chris, then Kari. Oh, you're muted, Erla.
There we go. So you said an inanimate object, and I bought this glass robin as a gift, but I decided to keep it for myself.
I totally would have done that too. I love it.
So she or he sits in my window constantly. So the robin is sitting looking outside. You can see the top of my little free library, my neighbor's yard, manicured lawn. And then I'm not sure what parent, but there's a parent and a child coming to the little free library. And I liked your idea of a quiet scene. So there's no words, just the family's getting the book. and the little bird's looking outside, and the little person has got a book about birds.
Nice.
And that's how my lawn looks. Thank you.
Thanks, Erla.
Thanks,
That's
Erla.
charming. Kate is next.
I really love that free library scene. It's really sweet in the rain. Okay, so mine is I planted I started a few chard plants from seed in the early spring. And then I decided that the backyard would keep them protected from the deer. So this is them planted in the backyard, and there's a fence. And then, but it turns out that the protection of the backyard is perfect for the shy groundhog. And so this is kind of what's left of the 3 chard plants. They're just some stems and tiny leaves. And then I just said, I'll bend some wire fencing over them tomorrow. So
nice. I love the washes. That's so great.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. We've got
Thanks.
Chris next, then Kari, then Brandon. Chris. There you go.
Mine's very simple. I have one of those little wooden model things that sits on the windowsill next to my sketchbooks. And he's saying, will Chris draw me today? And then the last panel is me drawing something on my phone. Nope. And he's very, very sad.
Oh, it's like all deflated. That's so good.
Yeah.
It's kind of meta too, because you had to draw 2 drawings of the thing. And then you picked this all out and said, no, I'm not drawing it.
Yeah.
That's great, Chris.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, everybody, to share these too. Some of these I'm seeing, I'm like, oh, I hope I can remember these.
Yeah, there's so many good stories in such a tiny little space.
Yeah. So I just put that in the chat.
Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna go to Kari next, and then Brandon, then Pat, then Michael.
Okay, so I love this little prompt, and I was a little bewildered by what character I should use. So I drew the closest thing to me, which was a teacup. And I started with them smiling, but then I wanted to make them surprised, like they were jostled. And then the next square is the reason, well, you actually don't know. There's just like a turbulent water. And how are those 2 related? Well, in the bottom panel, it turns out the teacup is on a boat. And then there is a person that is holding them together so that they won't break. And you can see the teacup and the saucer are quite happy with that.
Oh, that's cool. And we love it. Storm in a teacup, Libby says.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really nice. Okay, Brandon, hang on. There we go.
I'm gonna flip my camera real quick. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is mine. I started off with some like peaceful scenes. I, like myself, like everybody else, personally and like societally, I've been having a really hard time like processing stuff, and like I've had to like fight the urge to just like go lie down and not like deal with anything. So in panel 1, it's this like serene, kind of dark like forest that I'm in, and then in the second panel, like it's like more to establish like the feeling of that setting. And then the third panel almost threw me for a loop in terms of like change the scene somehow or like resolve it. And my initial temptation was to go a little darker. Like I was gonna like have this like thought bubble like come from me lying down looking at my phone, like wishing I was here.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to give myself a more hopeful message and like to not withdraw and to like go back towards I gotta keep PG, all the BS. And like, remind myself that there is still time to put the fires out that's going on right now. So that was mine.
Cool. Thanks, Brandon. I love the brushy lines. You got some love in the chat too. There's a great silhouette. It's nice.
Oh, thanks, y'all. I'm on my phone, so it's kind of hard for me to like look and read at the same time.
Yeah, same. I'm on a laptop and I still can't see everything all the time. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, I appreciate
Brandon.
that. Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Pat next, then Michael, then Vicky, then Priya. So come in to Pat.
Hey everybody. I have this weird creature on my desk that's made out of clay. And I started drawing that in the first one. So this says, God, what a week. And then I really just had a fun time like trying to imagine what other facial expressions would be like. This is like walking through its office. And then I thought about it like meeting with another person over the water cooler, but then I just had it like fixing its little like vacation postcard thing. The mouth made it look really creepy at the end, but it was fun.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah. And somebody's beeping for me outside, so.
All right, thanks, Pat. We'll go to Michael, Ashton next, Vicky, Priya, Jeff. So here's Michael.
Hey, I sort of disconnected after you said I like to draw pictures from my phone. So I just drew a sequence of pictures of how miserable my dog looked while my sister is holding her up to the camera.
That's a story. I love it. Great idea. Oh, I love the ink too. Oh, that face in the last panel.
That was
That's
fun.
awesome. That's
Really?
great.
Awesome, Michael, thanks. Vicky will be next. Okay, here we go. Right, please.
Hi, everyone. So I have an owl here, the face, and then there's nature, the who. But what I really have is this owl lamp on my desk, and the owl says, I do not know if I am an owl dreaming, I am a lamp, or if I am a lamp dreaming, I am an owl.
That's great.
Thank you.
I love
Amazing.
it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Vicky. That was great. So I think we have Priya, then Jeff, then Jamie, then Allison. Jamie's back with the hand that raises. Priya? Oh, I think we lost you. Once you come.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I'm in the kitchen now, so I can't show that I have a toy dragon. And so a little under the toy dragon because it was the closest thing next to me. And
You can't see anything, Priya.
Priya,
Are you on screen at all, Priya? We can't really see.
I am. I'm on the webcam.
We don't see anything
I'm on
at
the
all.
webcam. Let me see. Other? I think might be the best.
It might be maybe the connection.
Not the.
Oh,
Did we lose Priya? Okay, maybe we'll, if she comes back, we'll share. We'll go to Vicky next. Once Vicky starts the video. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Wait. Oh, Priya's back. Oh, great.
Yes.
There we go.
Sorry about that. So what I did is I'm in the kitchen now, so I can't show you guys, but the nearest thing I grabbed was a toy dragon I brought for traveling because it's travel sized. And so I decided to draw it.
Oh, cool.
So it's just like a little dragon walking along, seeing a river, and they decide the thing to do is go across and just wade. I was reading the Map Makers today, a review copy, and the river is very important to the plot. And so this is what I drew. And I used mostly colored pencil and ink, and I used acrylic ink for the river. Acrylic marker, rather. Oh, thanks so much. Yes,
Thanks,
that would be a
Priya.
good comic
Really
name.
pretty.
Yeah,
Of course. Thank
it's
you.
so cool to see what like people started as the like seed for their comic. Object or
Agreed.
photo.
So many great little artifacts and things found on desks have really come up with some great comics. Thanks, Priya.
Agreed. Thank you.
Sure. We'll go to Vicky next. We need Vicky to come on video, but maybe they're not around. Okay, we'll skip to Jeff for now, if Jeff's ready. And then Jamie, and then we'll see if Vicky's back.
There you go. Hi, guys. Okay, cool. Let me switch cameras right here. I think I did the most simple of everybody's. This is the story of how my dog goes to sleep. So you can see he's always like lounging out, stretching full time as the blankets slowly, he falls into them, and he always ends up like this with his little nose and paws sticking out. That's it.
That's great. I love your setup. We can see your work so clearly.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been working on it.
Awesome. Another great dog comic. Thanks. Okay, Jamie, are you ready to come on video? Let's find out.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I think I'm doing it right. I'm using data today. Data, okay? No more Wi-Fi. All right, look, this is so dumb, and I really needed more time, but
Great.
you take the, all right, we shouldn't say negative stuff, okay? Let's just be positive. Okay, so here we go. My inanimate thing was an eyeball. I don't know why. I was thinking about that being the residence today for no apparent reason. Anyway, so she's there smoking a cigarette, which you can no longer do. Oh, I had a dream I was smoking, and I felt like I smoked when I woke up, but in the dream, it didn't smell like anything, so I knew it was fake. Anyway, so I made my eyeball smoking, and she's saying, "Do these pants make me look fat?" And then, as if that's the only thing wrong with her, she's completely not self-aware. So then they go, "Yes, you freak," and then she goes, "Oh no, alone forever." And then look, he goes, "I found you," with a bad pun there. And then they're all shocked that she actually found true love. And there's a big smiley face in the landscape because this is stupid. Thank you.
I love it. I love a smiley face. Yes.
All
That's
right.
hilarious. That smiley face at the end is hilarious.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, two more. Allison and then Janice. So that's good.
Hi guys. So I'm another one who just has had a hell of a week. And so it's all just been so overwhelming. And so my solution to this is when things get tough, just pick up a pen and draw. And so I did not color the third panel. It's supposed to be a very different register.
Oh yeah. Is that watercolor? It looks great.
Yeah, watercolor and just pen and ink. Yeah.
It looks great.
Thanks.
Different register is a great way to phrase that, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
And hadn't heard that word in a while. We'll go to Janice, and then, oh, Janice just disappeared. Wait,
Oh, Janice is here.
Nope, there you are. Wait, nope, you keep disappearing. Now I've lost Janice completely. Oh, there we go. Okay, great. And you're muted, so if you could.
There we go. You got it.
Okay. I love to look at the internet and see these cute little wild animals that they portray all the time. And I'd love to see one in person, but they're probably pretty dangerous. And my friends, they'll post pictures of their adorable pets, you know, in human-like poses. This one was listening to the crinkle of plastic wrap, which she loves, knowing that it'll be a treat. But this is the reality of most of the dogs.
Oh yeah.
Unwanted and looking for their forever homes.
Yeah.
Great chain link fence. I like the layout of that too. That's cool.
Thanks.
Thanks.
My cat just showed up and she's purring. I think she likes her comic, and she's not even really a dog person.
Aleph has her hand up, so we'll go to Aleph. Hi, Aleph. It's nice to see you. I have to replace. There we go.
Hi. Well, okay. Of course, I didn't draw. And then I've been thinking of moving away from Gainesville, and today something came up, so I just wanted to capture. And so I didn't know what to do, and Jess said hat, so I found a hat.
Oh, nice.
And then I didn't know what to do for the next one. So it was just a blank, like sky first. I'll see you. Yeah, it's just like 2 suitcases.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
Caleb, did you cut those out in the time we had? You cut those out and pasted those down?
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
I thought about that. Chris said that too. Home is where you hang your hat. I thought about that. That's great.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Dom. Thanks, everyone.
Aleph, I'll be in touch. Thank you. Jess, I'm going to spotlight you now. Thanks to everyone who shared, and thanks everyone to thanks to everyone who shared. Also, thanks to everyone who tried to put some imagery to this week's difficult events and etc. But Jess, anything you want to follow up on?
I thought these were awesome. We should do this every day.
Yeah, you know, 3-panel comics have such a long history, but they're so 3 and 4 panel, but they're so laden with gag tradition, you know, like, and there's this feeling sometimes if you get into it too quickly that you have to have a punchline at the end. And you sort of showed us that you can linger at the end, right? You know, some of the, especially with that big panel that you had in the designs early on, the 3rd panel was an invitation to sort of like meditate a little bit longer on the previous first 2 and imagine more of the future. And it was really nice. And I just really appreciate that ability to think about something as simple as a 3-panel cartoon differently.
I think I work slow and then I maybe think slow. Like I when I write, I like to linger. And there was something about that. I like what you said, like it takes the pressure off of thinking of like a zingy punchline. Those are all really satisfying. I think like everybody here found a way to make the 3rd panel kind of shift the narrative. Like some people had like a different narrative in each panel too. So it's cool to see how much a story can change in a really small, you know, period of time, comics time, I guess.
Yeah. And Libby's commenting that's Allison's change of register was a good example of that too.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jess. I just want to remind everybody, this is the last week to sign up for the 6-month graphic novel course, which is Jess and me leading, hopefully Jess leading and me following. But we had a great experience last year mentoring, around 50 people, I think, through their projects. And
and everyone was like in a different place too. It wasn't like everyone, like some people have been working on something for a really long time and just needed accountability. Some people had just started one idea or 12 ideas. So I think it's one of those great classes that can help a lot of different types of creators, and it's not dependent on where you are in your process. So I got a lot out of it, and I was like kind of towards the end of the project.
I do too. I always do a project during these workshops, and because I need the accountability too, and I need just need the structure. You know, the modern times are a little fragmenting, and it's really just nice to have that community around me and to know that structure's there, and to have some expectations to produce work that's, you know, good enough. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Anyway, Susan Marks is hosting over at a different Zoom link afterwards. You can go, that link has just been posted in the chat, and Susan will probably post it again. Thanks, everybody. Let's give Jess a round of thank you, unmute and just say thank you. And I'm so happy to see so many familiar.
Thank you.
Next week we'll have Robin Chapman and Daryl Setchik, and they're doing mini memoirs, and they're going to show you how they turn them into bigger ones that they produce lo-fi. Anyway, Jess, thank you so much. Thanks everybody.
Thanks
everybody.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thanks again. It's great.
Keep getting through things. Thanks.
See you on the network.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Jess. I'll talk to you later.
All right. I'll see you later, Tom.
And Aleph, I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. All the regulars, Mishka, Brandon. Hi, everybody. Carol.
Thank you, Jeff. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
All right. Dave Lasky, nice to see you every week.
Oh yeah, look at all these nice people in here.
I know.